Hi, I'm Tim Flattery. I've worked on Batman Returns and Batman Forever as a concept artist. Did the Batmobile on Batman Forever, and you're listening to superhero stuff you should know because you should. It's important.
All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another special episode, another special interview from Superhero Stuff You Should Know. This is once again the man who knows too much about Batman. This is Ben Wan, and with me, as usual,
It's Andrew, everybody, and I can't wait to talk about Turbo Man for 3 hours.
We could do that too.
maybe another episode. So, for those who have been following us for a while, you know that we've done a lot of episodes on the concept art for a lot of the '90s Batman movies, and we were very fortunate enough to have somebody involved with the concept art who found our episode on the Batman Returns stuff, commented on it, wanted to share more about it, and I was just like, well. Who am I to turn that down? Of course, we love these stories. This guy knows way more about what happened behind the scenes than I do. So we're bringing him on. He was involved in both Batman Returns and Batman Forever, involved in many of the designs for the Penguin Army in Returns or the Batmobile in Batman Forever. Please welcome Tim Flattery. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, like I said in my message to you, you were speaking my language in your commentary, and I had to reach out to you. It was so good. I had to reach out to you. I wanted to be part of it because there's so much more that I could add that you were talking about in regards to some of the concept art background to it,
Mhm.
where like some of these concepts came from. So I couldn't wait to speak with you.
Awesome. I'm sure in some
Awesome.
ways could
Thank
be
you.
infuriating, where it's just like, I know the reason behind that. So like
Right,
it's time for you
exactly.
to have the stage on that. So a lot of this for those who haven't seen that episode, check out that episode and come back. But we're going to see a lot of that type of stuff in this one. So I'm just going to sort of browse through this, and you can let us know, Tim, when we get to something that you're involved in. This is obviously some of the early Tim Burton
Right,
sketches and stuff. Uh,
right.
Storyboards of the great opening of the Penguin carriage going down into the sewers.
Just a,
Uh,
a disclaimer for the oral listener. This is a highly visual episode this time around. So,
mhm,
Yeah, for sure. Like what you're seeing here is some gouache paintings that Tom Lay had done. That first painting, and he
mhm,
was amazing. This one here is mine. That's so you'll see a lot of artwork from myself, Tom Lay,
mhm.
Marty Klein, Jacques Ray, um, some Tom Valentine stuff. This is a Tom Lay painting as well, and he was an interesting guy. He was not your typical concept artist. He was sort of an older curmudgeon Southern gentleman
uh huh.
that rode his bike into Warner Brothers every day, and
That's awesome.
um, he was, and it was funny. He was very, you'd walk over to him and watch him while he was painting. He was very protective about his technique and painting and keeping it from you. He didn't want the young guns learning what he knew. It was kind of funny, but he had a great way of a simple technique that was incredibly direct and useful in his lighting, and a neat guy. He's
Mhm.
he's been passed for quite a while.
Nice. That is awesome, and it's great to look at as well, especially as fans of this movie.
Yeah, he was capable of doing everything from interiors to exteriors. This is Marty Klein. So Marty Klein did a lot of charcoal work
Mhm.
Mm,
and laid out a lot of um, some of the backings and still shots, like some of the stuff you guys were talking on that original episode in regards to my gouache paintings.
Mhm.
Some were layouts for matte paintings, and some were backings for the stage of downtown Gotham, which we shot on stage 16 at Warner Brothers. So Marty would lay out a lot of these shots. He smart dude that has been involved in a lot of effects back in the day, and also art department stuff. And so he would lay out a lot of shots. Taught me how to project things like
Oh,
that before there was 3D.
nice. Yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot of Gotham here. I believe that is your name here.
Yeah, so this is an example of, so I would do these gouache paintings um, to then give to the scenic. So again, this was on stage 16. So even though it's the biggest stage on Warner Brothers, we built downtown Gotham on stage 16, and then Tim Burton wanted to see the actors' breath for real. So in the middle of summer, we get these huge air conditioners and air conditioned the whole set so you could see their breath. So you'd walk from 95 degrees outside into 30 degrees in the stage. People were getting colds left and right. But this
Right.
is a backing that would finish out a street, from one side of Gotham City. And so you see in gray that's a silhouette of a truck that we would park in front of it.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
and
Oh,
so the scenics would paint these full, so they would take my paintings, scale them up, and then repaint them full size on set.
oh wow.
Amazing painters. So that's what this was. Is this and a few others that you were showing were paintings that finished the set so that it looked like it went deeper than it actually did. So that it went beyond the four walls of the stage.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, yeah, as you said, this is we're sort of looking at a layout of Gotham City, but part of it is uh, basically covered up by a gray shaped truck, which has now been explained by Tim here. That is a truck that was parked in front of it for the set. So that's an awesome behind the scenes tidbit I did not know about.
Yeah, it's old school optical illusion of set extension, where now they would do that synthetically. But
Hmm.
when we were doing Batman Returns, we would literally paint them by hand and do set extensions by optical illusion.
Wow,
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah,
We have some
same
more
thing
here.
here. Yep, same exact thing here. So this was, I remember listening to your commentary on this, and it was really interesting. This is literally just a set extension painting for the other side of Gotham on another of the 45-degree side of it,
Mhm.
and it was basically just continuing a girder bridge structure to then just kind of go into um, basically nothingness that you see there. So
Ah,
again, set extension painting,
mhm. Awesome.
That's cool.
and same thing with this one as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Beautiful. I love
So
this
depend.
Gotham in Christmas time type of feel to everything.
Yeah, again, Tom Lay, and you see the simplicity in how he paints, but he gets all the information in there. So um, obviously, there's a lot that goes on in the rooftops of Gotham in this movie, and so he laid out a lot of this stuff. And again, I should say all this under the direction of not just Tim Burton, but the production designer Bill Welch, who
Mhm.
was man, just incredible. Learned a ton from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, as well as the unenviable task of following up on Anton first and sort of creating a Gotham that is sort of in the same DNA, but also very much its own feel for this movie. Because it's like it feels like it could be part of the same city, but it's also very much its own identity at the same
It's
time.
its own, yeah. I mean, so Ben, that's such a cool point because I remember when I first hired on to the movie, and that was kind of like the same. I asked Bo that question. I'm like, so are you taking from what Anton had done? Like, what's the plan in this movie? And Bo Welsh is Bo Welsh, right? I mean,
Mhm.
Edward Scissorhands, and all the movies that he had done. He's got a very unique look and design style, and the guy is like so talented. And he, just immediately is like, no, this is the next step in Gotham. This is our vision of it. What Anton did was great. We're taking it to a new place, and
Yeah.
it's a very different look, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Still
been
dark and ominous, but there's a
yeah.
playfulness to it, and a sort of a in some areas a silliness to it. Tim was very adamant that when he made this movie with the studio that he had proven what he can do, and he wanted to interject his vision to a deeper degree.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
we could
wanted
definitely see it.
more. He wanted something a little bit lighter than '89. You'd say.
No, not. I wouldn't say lighter. It's more. What's the best way to put it? It just, this movie had more of Tim in it in regards to what he brought to the visuals and what he brought to the characters and what he brought to the screen, as opposed to, um, the studio dictating a little bit more on the first one because he wasn't proven the way he was by the time we got to
Mhm.
this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always said on this podcast that Tim Burton's style, everybody always talks about how dark he is, but he's macabre, but never without whimsy. Almost,
Right.
right? He just has that nice combination of those two things. He's dark, but there's always some humor in it. Usually.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got a sense of humor. We'll get into that when we talk about the Penguins a little bit.
Oh, yes.
And it's always like well thought out and serves story in a way. I mean, and I'll talk about that a little bit when we get to the Penguins too, because man, did that guy teach me a lot about designing for story as opposed to being a designer.
Mhm.
I
There's a
see.
big difference, right?
Wow. Looking
And
forward to
something
that.
that I was naive about coming into this movie and left it, all the better because of Tim and Bo.
That's
So
cool.
this is from what you're describing. This is pretty early on in your career when you get onto this movie.
This was my, I had done Back to the Future 2, Total Recall, My Stepmother's an Alien. And so this is my
Awesome.
fourth movie. And I was, your fourth movie, you're green, right? It's done
Mhm.
over 100 now. But yeah, so this was early. This was really early for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then for those who don't know as well, Tim has gone not just doing the Batman Returns and Batman Forever, but you've been on a number of the Marvel Cinematic Universe projects.
Yeah, I lost count. I just, I did Love and Thunder that just came out, and I also worked on Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2, which comes out in November.
Ooh.
That's awesome,
And
man.
and then the Infinity War and Endgame and Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and
Oh,
Ant-Man.
man.
Yeah, a bunch. I love the Marvel universe. I love this stuff. If it's science fiction or comic books, you can count me in. Those are my loves.
Awesome.
I also wanted to say Bumblebee fucking ruled, bro. So thank you for that.
Right on. Yeah.
The best Transformers movie ever. So there that is.
Mhm.
I'm gonna agree. Andrew.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I worked
Awesome.
on
It's
that one and another
so
one,
good.
and yeah, Bumblebee's got a little more soul to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Heart and soul, man. That's what we needed.
Yep.
Hmm.
Let's see. So we've got a little bit more of Gotham before we start going into some of the character stuff. I think based off of how I organized this the last time
Okay.
that we did this. It's just again just really cool seeing Gotham that feels very much like a continuation of the '89 movie, but also very different on its own sense. And last week we had Michael Uslan, executive producer, on it, and
Of course.
he was just like
Mhm.
that it's whether it's this Gotham or First's Gotham or Schumacher's Gotham or all the different Gothams, you can all sort of envision them as different neighborhoods in a very wide city. And I like that explanation.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's great to see all of Tom's paintings here.
Yeah.
I remember, God, I remember all these like they were yesterday, and I remember him painting them, and I remember all those little comments as he's doing it. We were all in the same room together. Do you guys remember that story where Sean Young, showed up at the studio as
Mm.
Catwoman to try
Yeah.
and get that? I don't know and she walked right by our office.
Oh, so you were
Oh,
there.
wow.
I was there. And Tim was like hiding in the bathroom of his office.
That's what we heard. Yeah.
It was yeah, and she went by and she had these knee-high vinyls on. And we were all just like, so it was me, Matt, Marty, me, Tom, Marty, and Jacques Ray in one office, and we were like, what is going on? And because his office is just down the way from ours.
Mhm.
And she was pounding on there trying to get in, saying, I almost died on the first one. I died to get on this one. Anyway, it didn't work out. But
Jeez, yeah.
what was funny was she had seen the publicist on the movie, Michael Singer, was kind of walking away down the courtyard below, and from the back, he kind of looks like Tim Burton. He's kind of had a big head of hair. Have you heard
Oh,
about this?
no, I haven't heard about this one, but I can see where this is going.
Because she had like I'll call him, I don't know, what do you want to call it, a bodyguard or somebody with them, and they each had a walkie-talkie, and
Whoa.
she said, that's him, and the guy ran down there to get him, and he grabbed Michael, and they realized it wasn't him, and so he went to the print shop, and the next day he showed up in a T-shirt that said, "I'm not Tim Burton." It was hilarious.
He made a shirt
He
just
made
for
a
that.
T-shirt. I'm not Tim Burton. Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
without humor.
No, it was.
That's great.
Man, that was quite a day. Anyways, funny.
It's amazing. Yeah,
We got
I hadn't heard
sidetracked.
that part of the story. We only really have heard just Tim Burton hiding out in the
Yeah.
bathroom of the office. So
Yeah, he was.
it's hilarious.
He was. They had gotten wind she got on the lot, and then they
Mhm.
gotten wind that she was coming, and he didn't. I don't. Who could blame him? He didn't want to be confronted by her, and
Mhm.
the part had already gone to Michelle Pfeiffer. It was long gone, and what
Right.
were they going to do? So yeah, it was entertaining to be on the lot that day.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I do feel bad for what had happened to her on the first movie, but also like Michelle
Me too.
Pfeiffer is irreplaceable on this picture.
Yeah, you're casting. I mean, listen, casting is casting, and it's Catwoman, and it's a specific character in his head, and
Mhm.
you're not. I'm not. Who's going to argue it's casting?
Yeah.
So
So this other concept art we have here
right.
is something we've talked about before, which is the Batman sled that I think is in the movie at one point, but I don't think we see the Batman logo on it because I think they took away the Batman store.
Right, right. It may have been in a McDonald's commercial. They used the same store for a McDonald's commercial, but this is
Mm.
one of Jacques Ray's pieces, and he was man, just a talented guy, and he had a lot to do with just the Oswald Cobblepot feel and look,
Hmm.
and Tim just loved his Jacques stuff. I mean, Jacques and Tim just like were firing on all cylinders together.
Nice.
So, he would end up doing the giant rubber ducky and all the posters for Oswald, and like he got Tim. So anyway, this was just one of many things that he designed on the film.
Yeah, this is great. Let's see. Then we got some of the Red Triangle Circus here.
Yeah, I
Bikers.
don't remember this art. I think this must have come from um, Mary Boyd. This must have come from the costume design department.
Ah,
That's
okay.
what it looks like. Yeah.
That makes sense. We got some stuff that I got from the book of Batman Definitive History of the Dark Knight and comics, film, TV, and
Yes.
beyond. So a lot of great stuff in there as well.
Really
Uh,
great stuff.
this is a great
Mark.
shot with the bat signal in the Wayne Manor.
Yep. Marty Klein again. Just a genius guy at charcoal and
Hmm.
in camera angles and layout, and another integral part in regards to the architecture of the film.
Yeah. No, it's a great feel to it. It's almost like a mix of Tim as well as a little bit
Oh
of
yeah.
Edward Gorey to me as well.
Yeah, Marty nailed it so bad. I remember one time that that first original painting of mine that you're showing of the penguin addressing his penguins.
Hmm.
Tim Burton. This was early on in the film, and Tim Burton came into my office. And he was looking at that painting, and I said, "Is this what you're thinking? Do you want to whatever?" And he's just a uniquely strange individual, And he'd look at it and he would go, "Yeah, what's that guy's name out there? Marty? Yeah, Marty." And then he'd just walk away and go talk to Marty stuff.
Hmm.
It was, Marty was hitting the mark way before I was. That's for sure.
Is it like he'll want I want 5 different Gothams from 5 different artists, and I'll just kind of pick what I want? Is how Tim Burton wants. He's trying to wrap his head around the look via the artist at hand.
You never know. Um, it, it was mostly most of the direction came from Bo Welsh and his meetings with Tim, but
Okay.
Tim was also hands-on, where he'd walk through, like the story about the penguins is one of those stories. So when he was connecting with you, he would direct you.
Mhm.
But then, like, when you were looking for specific direction, you may not get it because he wasn't connecting with you at the time, and it would come through Bo.
Okay.
Obviously, Bo's the production designer, and so overall look. So most of it would come through Bo and what you would rely on through him. But um, Tim was, you'd see him a lot, and he'd be hands on. But whether or not he was interacting with you on the level of, like, no, put this over here and make this, and this,
Mhm.
didn't happen as often as you'd like.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, I know this has Marty Klein's name on it, but I was wondering if you could chime in on a bit of a debate that we had with some of our fans on this Andrew knows where I'm going with this.
Here we go.
So, um, in the script, and I believe in this concept art, it seems as if there are actually meant to be mirrors. These are supposed to be, I guess, circular mirrors around Bruce's house that will reflect the bat signal into the room. However, from the movie, and for many years, I guess fans have been like, well, he's just got like bat signals on his rooftop. Doesn't that sort of ruin the thing? But I'm like, well, wait a minute. If it's supposed to be mirrors, then that wouldn't give it away. But is that sort of what the thinking was on this, or what it's supposed to be in the movie?
You know what, Ben? This one I can't remember. We'd
No
have to
worries.
ask Marty. He'd be able to tell you. I don't remember. I barely remember this drawing, and I remember all the drawings.
No worries.
So I don't remember.
Mm,
Yeah, I wish I had the answer. Marty
It
would
does
know.
lead into a great iconic shot, though, of Keaton standing
Yeah,
up right in front
standing
of that
up
bat
and
signal, though. So
yeah,
I probably wouldn't trade that for something that's quote unquote more realistic.
no.
right. Right.
Oh, look at
So
that. I don't remember that either.
yeah, this
I
is
don't
a
have a
this is another
clue.
one that kind of shows like, oh, it's a mirror. It doesn't actually have the bat signal part on it.
Right, right.
Let's see. This one looks like it's
That's
probably
a Jacques Ray. This was actually, he did
ah
this art for the crew T-shirts,
Oh, cool.
oh
That's
and
oh
so
awesome.
that's awesome.
everyone got a T-shirt with this, and this was, like, kind of approved through Tim and all that. But this was the crew T-shirt, and Jacques Ray did the art in Tim Burton style, as you can see, just like,
Hmm.
rough pen and ink.
Do
Yeah,
you
I can
still
definitely
have your
see that.
crew shirt?
No, mine's disintegrated now.
Oh man.
I wore it, man. I wore the hell out of it, and it's been long disintegrated years ago.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Some
one of my
guy at my
favorites.
some guy at my work showed up with the Super Mario Brothers movie crew jacket, and I was like, "Oh, god damn. This is a this guy is a OG."
Yeah, some of them you really cherish, and
Yeah.
back in the day, like, sometimes you get crew jackets that were like the old satin. They were
Yeah.
horrible, and you just never have it. Then they started getting better and better, and
Okay.
and then they got a little more sophisticated, and not like making a big bold logo on the jacket, so
Oh,
that you could
right.
actually wear them in public and not look like an idiot. But
You mean really
and
cool.
or really cool, depending
Yeah.
on whatever the movie was. So
Oh, right, right, right.
yeah,
Let's see. Um, Not really sure what this is. Another
me either. Don't
version of
recognize it.
Batman. And then there was this white Batman that Andrew got really excited about because of the
He's cool.
whole, the camo of the snow, which is awesome. But I don't know if this is like for the movie or for merchandise.
That's merchandise. I don't. That wasn't production art for the movie that I
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
And his chest logo is completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
true,
saw that
yeah.
too. Yeah. That's
That's
very,
true, yeah.
it's more Mazzucchelli, like Frank Miller esque and not the
Yeah,
oval.
that's not the Bob Ringwood chest plate from Returns.
Yeah. Let's see. More of the
Jacques Ray. Yeah.
Jacare doing the stuff that comes out of the Batmobile in order to take down
Yep.
the guys on stilts. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. He and I
Windshield
shared a
wipers.
bunch of the windshield wiper, exactly. He and I shared a bunch of kind of responsibilities on vehicle stuff in the film, and like I did the one where the fenders blow off, right? The missile, the Batmissile that goes in
Oh
between the
yeah,
tight alley, and he did a lot of this other stuff here. Yeah,
awesome. Let's see, we got some more storyboard stuff. We got the design of the Arctic world.
yeah,
And we really we really liked showing some of these to Daniel Waters when we had this because he had originally written the whole idea of the like Arctic world being a full on amusement park with like a roller coaster that there was supposed to be a
yeah,
fight on early on, and obviously that got cut. But it was cool sort of showing this to him just to see something tangible, the show that an idea that got brought to life that didn't necessarily get brought to life in the movie itself.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's what Marty and Tom's work was reflecting.
Mhm.
This is fun to see. I did
The
all these
alternative
umbrellas,
umbrellas.
and then yeah, and I don't know where those sketches are. I have, some of my artwork, but I forgot all about these
No worries. I mean, some of these we could only find in this book.
in the book. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. What a great book.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's fantastic. And then, of course, we've got this Tim Burton one of the Jimmy the Hideous Penguin Boy that sort of helped form the
Yeah.
penguin concept for this movie.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Sometimes I'm just like, what is next? Because it's been a while since I've done this episode. Okay, yeah, more Burton of the penguin stuff. So,
Yeah. There's Crash. He did some stuff from Stan Winston's. Yep.
uh,
I remember those Tim Burton drawings actually as well.
yeah, some more of the
More
Stan Winston
Crash.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Some stuff that you can sort of see the evolution of DeVito's face turning into Penguin in these.
Yep.
Oh yeah. You
Some
ever
great
see
stuff with the
Tim
monocle.
Burton draw live? You ever saw him draw right in front of you?
Briefly when we were doing some penguin stuff.
Okay.
But a really cool story is Bob Kane came through the studio one day, and obviously he wanted
Oh,
to
ho,
go through
ho.
the art department.
Mhm.
Right.
And I've only asked for 2 autographs in my life, and he was one of Bob Kane was one of them. When he came through, Jack Ray and I were sharing an office, and he came through and wanted to see everything we were doing. I happened to be doing a huge gouache painting of Gotham at the time, and God, it was like Bob Kane was walking in, and I just, I shit my pants. It's Bob Kane, and um, so I got up the nerve after he was just so, you know, um, interested and spoke our language, obviously, and
Mhm.
I couldn't help it. I just said, look, if you've got a second, could I have your autograph? And he said, well, let me sit down. And he sat down at my drawing table and asked for a piece of paper, and he drew Batman and Robin, the Bob Kane Batman and Robin,
Oh,
and signed it over to me. Um, so I actually got to watch Bob Kane draw, which was
That's awesome.
equally as cool as watching Tim Burton do a drawing. Yeah,
that is great too. Where it's just you ask for an autograph and he gives you something more.
he draws.
Mm.
Mhm.
He drew it, and he was even like he was talking. He goes, I've done this so much I can draw them without looking at them. And he looked at me the whole time. And he continued.
Oh
And
wow.
he continued the drawing, and it was like a perfect Bob Kane drawing that we're so used to seeing of the silhouette of Robin and the profile of Robin and the front on of Batman.
Oh,
That's
that's awesome.
awesome.
Super cool.
Yeah. Let's see some more penguin stuff. Some more. Okay,
Yeah.
now we're getting a little bit closer to the origin of Catwoman.
Right.
So we got this concept art of Catwoman, where it's very revealing and stuff. I imagine this is like super early on.
Yeah. I think this came out of um, Bob Ringwood's shop. He had hired a couple of illustrators, but I don't remember. I only remember more of Tim's art, and then that being a driver. Like this was.
Mhm.
I don't have clear memory of this, but it feels like it came out of his shop at the beginning.
Yeah. This I'm imagining what
Yeah.
you mean in terms of the Tim
Yes.
drawings.
This is
Yeah.
full on. Yeah. I remember these clear as a bell. These were on the walls
Yeah.
of the art department. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, this is Mary Voigt. Yeah.
Ah,
She did some great sketches that led to that final look.
it's iconic. It really is.
Totally.
Let's see some more of the tattered version towards the end.
Yep.
And let's see. Yeah, I can see her name on the bottom too.
Yeah. Not comfortable to wear, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yes, this is our. Okay, so here's the big rubber ducky we
Yeah,
mentioned
that's
earlier
Jock.
from Jock. Yeah.
Yeah. Tim would get so excited when he'd come in and start talking concepts with Jock, and they just had like they had a riot doing these things, the Penguins World and this stuff together, and Jock was um, quite a genius in his industrial design mindset, and he had the same kind of whimsy that Tim had,
Mhm.
just not quite as dark.
Mm.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, this is a great look in terms of how that was designed, of how it like raises up so it can
Yeah,
go up in that sewer.
great technician too,
Yeah.
scissorless.
See
Yeah,
some
I
more of the
remember. I
inside.
mean, we were sitting next to each other through all these drawings. I remember like watching these drawings come to life, as well as him watching mine.
Mhm. Oh, that's awesome.
That's great.
Uh, some shots of the Bat Cave. It looks like, yeah,
That's
uh, different designs of the Bat Cave. Obviously, the
yeah,
very high, like a ton of screens, a ton of monitors
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Bat computer that got pared down in the movie.
It,
Uh,
it,
s-
and it's fun to see how like even this really super rough stuff leads
mhm,
to reality, right? And for
yeah,
concepts like we'd work really rough and then take things to finish if they if if they felt like a good direction.
I think that's also why we have so many episodes about this that a lot of our fans seem to love, because they like seeing the either the evolution or the
Yeah,
what if in terms of something that like didn't quite make it, but it's an alternative where you're like, oh man, what if that was what it looked
yeah,
like?
yeah.
See
Me
more of
too.
Wayne Manor.
Oh yeah, more Marty Klein. These
Yeah,
interiors of Wayne Manor, I just used to blow my mind. Like when Marty would knock these out, like
it's great
just in pencil and charcoal, and you just do these epic drawings of this opulent interior.
for sure. This is from I know this is Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. In terms of a concept that's
Oh,
in one of the early drafts where some of the Red Triangle Circus gangs are dressed up as Batman, and they're called the Bat Creeps. And I think that's the early version of
oh.
when he uses the remote control batarang.
Well, you
So
guys are teaching me. I had no idea. That's cool.
I'm not really sure what this was for, though. That's the thing. I'm still trying to figure this one out.
Me
But
either.
it is, I guess, it's for merchandise. But it's interesting that a scene from one of the earlier drafts sort of made it into the art for the merchandise. And so here's something you can speak to. So we are looking at the batarang that seems at first like, oh, it's the remote control batarang, but it also looks like there's holes in it and potentially turns into some sort of brass knuckle type of thing. So go ahead and let
Exactly.
us know what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. So we made this. Um,
Oh,
and because I ended up doing a bunch of props on this as well. This is like a really bad Xerox of the. I can definitely render better than that.
our apologies.
No, no, no. This is sometimes, but this was meant to be just that out of his utility belt he could pull this thing out and use it as a set of brass knuckles, or hit a button and then use it as a batarang too.
Sweet.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
you guys covered it, I think, in the last episode. You pretty much nailed it.
Okay. Okay.
That's what it is.
I mean, since you've got the fingers going through the holes, I'm like, well, it's
Yeah,
got to be that, you know.
Mhm.
yeah,
But yeah, that's cool to get the confirmation on that.
yeah,
Another version
and that's it.
we see
Yeah,
here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got these. The Catwoman sort of leaping through the rooftops, which sort of got faithfully rendered in the Batman '89 comic series. I don't know if you've picked up a few of those issues, Tim, but they've been. Joe Quinones is a huge fan of both of these movies and pays tribute to these in particular. This one of Catwoman leaping from rooftop to rooftop, as well as this other one at the top right, of her
yeah.
sort of jumping off. So that's really cool.
Well, this is Michael Jackson, who was one of the Marty Klein did storyboards as well, but Michael Jackson did a lot of the boards on the movie, and kind of a soft-spoken dynamo. But man, his shot selection and angles were just like, iconic, like you see here. Every frame he composed the guy just oozes cinematic excitement, drama.
I mean, this looked like, I could see why Joe Quinones got inspiration to put this in a comic, because it looks like it would be a great comic book panel.
Exactly, right? I mean, Michael's his story. Well, he was a comic geek, is like all of us were, and his storyboards cinematically, spoke to a comics language.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that. It definitely comes through.
Yeah, I don't recognize that.
This might be more merchandise type of stuff. This Heritage
Yeah.
Auctions ones, I'm just like, these might just be merchandise. This one, I think, is supposed to be associated with the maybe concept art for the video game, I believe. So
Oh,
maybe
got
that's
it.
why.
Yeah, it's definitely not from the film.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
See some more of the storyboards. We got the Batmobile being taken over by the Penguin type of stuff, featuring some stuff that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, I don't remember these either.
But they're really, it's pretty cool sometimes to see, some of the stuff is like, oh yeah, we got to see that. But the other stuff were like it looks like the gun is shooting or aimed at the driver in this case. So that's pretty cool. Didn't make it in. And then I think there's another, I don't know if there's one here, but in the comic book adaptation, there's a part where the bottom of the Batmobile that he used to spin around and set the flamethrower guy on fire ends up spinning like 360 degrees over and over and over again, which, just to annoy him, it seems like.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember these boards. Oh, that's
here we go.
That's mine. Yeah. That was the Batmissile, the alley missile.
I need to pick up a toy for this.
They made a toy for this, right?
I think there's a Hot Wheel, right?
There's a toy out there of it.
I think I had the toy for this.
I want the toy for this. I got all my other. I got every. I think of the Batmobile that I did for Batman Forever, from Revell models to Matchbox to the 16 scale. Whatever. This one I don't have anything for. I gotta hunt one down.
Okay,
guys, send your donated toys of this to Tim. Let us know how he can get this. So
I need
he
to
gets
get
his
one
toy of his own Batmobile.
This one's missing out of my collection.
All right, and so before we dive into further Batman Returns concept art, we're going to take this quick break.
Hi, it's me, Jeremy Parrish, co-host of the Retronauts podcast, the only video game history podcast that's been around so long, it's also a part of video game history. Every week, one of the motley rabble who host this show leads a deep dive into the past, whether it's to break down a classic franchise, learn more about a timeless game from its creator, or just wallow in nostalgia. Relive history with Retronauts, here on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Do you like the TV show Friends? Then check out Watching Friends with me, Mark.
And me, Ryan.
Every week as we go through every episode of this iconic TV show, giving you behind-the-scenes facts, our thoughts on every scene, and some personal stories.
Do you know which actor can't remember how many seasons of the show there are? How about the one common household object that could never be seen on the show? We've got the answers and more as we explore Friends in depth every week.
Watching Friends, only on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Fight inflation the old-fashioned way, by spending less money. Check out the HyperX store at Amazon.com to find great Prime Day deals on July 12th and 13th. Stock up on new gaming gear so you'll be equipped for the new launches and content drops. Mark your calendars and set your alarms. Deals like this won't stick around long.
Class is back in session, and HyperX has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schooling folks online.
Shop the HyperX back-to-school deals going on at hyperx.com to help make your return to student life a breeze.
Comfortable cloud headsets can help keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats and stay productive with lightweight pulse-fire mics, responsive alloy keyboards, and more.
Keep your GPA and your KDA high with HyperX products and accessories.
Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming.
It's back to school time. We want to make sure you pack the essentials to have the best gear yet. The Manscaped 4th Generation Performance Package is just that.
Be ready for whatever it is in your daily schedule this year.
It's the perfect package for your package and includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0.
Fellas, go for the valedictorian of ball trimming and join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with the code Johnson's Ballsack. Yes, that's a real code.
100% real.
Yes. So this is apparently the part in the ad read where I tell you about hurting my balls while trimming below the waist. The thing is, I haven't, because I've never hurt my balls through it while using Manscaped. Me, personally, that's not to say that you can't. I'm just saying that I haven't myself. So thanks to Manscaped, I don't have a story to share on that.
Yeah, I one time shaved my sack without Manscaped, and it didn't end up well. Actually, my roommate had to clean up the mess because I was in college and forgot about it. But anyway, that's a side. I was young once.
You lead with that.
I was young once. But yes, you want to keep in the bush to keep in your underoos. Keep your package in the underoos. All right, you gotta
Indeed.
have it looking good down there. You know what I'm saying? And seem big.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yes. School is back, and the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped is here to teach the boys a lesson on male hygiene. Inside, you'll find a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, plus 2 free gifts, Performance Boxer Briefs, and the Shed Travel Bag.
This package includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and will give you the confidence to do anything you desire, including showing off your dick. New year, new you, might screw around and attend Smooth Balls University this fall. Wait, is that a thing?
This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also allows you to shave your pencil down and customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 to 4. As you guys can probably tell, we did not write this.
These are the most fun ads, though, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so the Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 7,000 RPM motor and a new multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. So if you're needing to shave your balls in the dark, they got you in the Batcave, always on brand. Please use the LED spotlight. And did I mention it's waterproof as well? So if you want to shave in the dark, underwater,
In Atlantis.
if your Batcave is also in Atlantis,
Double power.
there you go. I mean, they got you covered. What can I say?
Indeed. That's what Aquaman 2 is about. So, this package also
I'm going to say legally it's not that, but
yes, okay.
that was commentary.
Yes. This package also comes with a Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up top in both your nose and your ear. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nick, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes.
After trimming your pubes and cleaning your holes, show them some love with the Manscaped liquid formulations. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner are here to get you ready for class during the day and ready to party at night. And again, when you party at night, you could at night be shaving your balls just fine because it has a light on it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I did have a friend, speaking of ball deodorant, I had a friend one time that's going to remain nameless that did spray cologne on his dick, and it hurt. It was a bad idea, he said. So you don't want to do that. You need deodorant especially made for your balls.
Indeed.
And that's where they're here for, guys.
Mm-hmm. Manscaped also threw in 2 free gifts to the Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. One is a comfy front pack for your balls, and the other is a backpack for your goods.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Johnson's Ballsack. And I'm telling you, it's real. We've had a lot of people talk about this, asking, and at 100% real, we wouldn't be doing these actual official ads if it wasn't real. So yeah, 20% off plus free shipping with the code Johnson's Ballsack at manscaped.com. Take the last line, Ben.
This year, graduate with a degree in clean balls from Manscaped. This previous one looks like storyboards that identify Batman and Kid silhouetted, so it's Batman and Robin. In the early versions.
I'm not familiar, and I don't remember. I don't remember anything being developed with Robin, at least from where I was at. Either that, or I forgot.
I mean, there's also a possibility that they had already cut him by the time that you had been involved, which I think would make sense too, because he's not in the final drafts anyway, so it kind of makes sense that there wouldn't be a ton of type of stuff for the character. There's a lot of people who are just like, oh, like what's the concept art of Marlon Wayans' Robin suit? I'm like, I don't think there was one. Like it's not one in the script. I don't think it ever got that far for this.
No, nobody developed anything for Robin that I know of.
Wishful thinking, I think, on the fans' part. But now we start getting into some fun stuff. Penguin.
Let me grab my penguin. I got.
He is going. Let's see if we can go without cutting this. He's going to get his penguin shot. He's got a penguin with it in his hand.
He has a pet penguin with a rocket launcher attached to
it. Well, it's not. This one was in the movie.
He's got an actual penguin animal at his house.
This was one of the. This was one of the background penguins on the set.
Oh, look at this.
Hold on.
That we had done. So the paint job is really rough, but it's so far away from camera that it didn't matter. But this is
awesome.
All he's a urethane. It's all urethane, all soft. So I've got this guy. He's
amazing.
It's one of the one things that sits out 100% of the time in my home. So I'll have him sitting here while we talk about this stuff.
Oh, perfect.
That's awesome, man.
So take it away.
All right. So this was doing these Rocket Pack penguins, believe it or not, was one of the turning points of my career because of how much I had learned. And there was just something in the script about the penguin communicates with his henchmen and his penguins.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking how does he just communicate with them? Like, how does that happen? Do they read his mind? And so I started doing these little 2-minute sketches that you see how rough they are. And the one sketch where you see on the bottom right where like his brain and skull are kind of exposed, I was thinking, well, maybe there's like electrodes that are plugged in, or they wear little helmets where there's electrodes plugged in, and that's how he communicates with them. It's through there's some technology there. I like, in my own way, I had to make sense of it. And and it was one of the days that Tim Burton was walking around with Bo, and they walked by my desk, and this caught his eye. And he looked at this because it wasn't like dialed in yet. This was still early days. And he looked at this sketch, these sketches. And he looked over at Bo and he said, yeah, we got to do this. and I was like, do this, what does that mean? I mean, it's kind of in the script. And he looked at me and he said, I'm going to give you some reference. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. And that's when he brought this book of Joel Peter Wiccan, and I can share my screen if you want me to explain that to you, because I didn't know who Joel Peter Wiccan was. And when I was talking about designing within story, this was my introduction to, no, you can't think like a straight designer. You have to think in story. And this was getting inside of Tim Burton's head in a way that, like, I never expected. So sorry, let me.
No problem.
Okay, here we go.
So for those of us who
So-
don't know, who is Joel Peter Wiccan?
So I'm going to get to it. So Joel Peter Wiccan. This is Tim going, have you ever heard of Joel Peter Wiccan? And I'm like, no. And so he brings this book over and he goes, this is what I want him to look like. And this guy basically photographs the macabre, but it had the circus freak element to it that Tim wanted, but I didn't get it at the time because Joel Peter Wiccan, he'd like get cadavers and cut them up and photograph them, or he would do like this image here. This image is called The Kiss, and he was going through the book with me, and he'd point to this and he'd go, like this, and I'm like, what?
What does this have to do with penguins?
Exactly, and so this like, for instance, this was a cadaver that the artist bandsawed the head from the back open and then opened it up, and hence called The Kiss. But he'd get to images like this and he'd be like, like this, I want it like this. And I was scared shitless. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Man, it's insane.
Because he's truly just on a different plane. And so again, like, he'd get to these and he'd go, like this. So I at this point I was completely freaked out. This is like full on, now looking back, I totally get it. When you look at this, I mean, he wanted S&M, carnival, dark humor all packed into one to serve the atmosphere of what the Penguins' world was. And I was so naive at the time. I was taking the book for what it was, as opposed to thinking about it within story and within character. This one here,
the general energy, as people, the vibe of it, people say these days, that's what he wanted you to take from these images and throw that into penguins.
Right. And I was like, how do I, he left the book with me, he wanted me to get into it. And I was, scouring through this, trying to make heads or tails of it. And finally just speaking with Bo Welsh, and Bo Welsh was the one, because Tim, he would give me this and just expect me to get it and articulate it, because it's second nature. It's his language, it's his world. And Bo Welsh was the one that was able to bridge that gap for me of like, no, this is about the character and the feel. So he was like, these are carnival freaks, circus freaks. You've got to think about that. And that's why it led to, so I did a lot of research on like, well, what penguin is going to lend itself best to a circus freak, So that's what led to these guys.
Oh, yes. We love these.
You've got the lottery ball, grenade launching penguin. You've got I know you guys showed a drawing of Crash, but this originated from mine. But the flamethrower or machine gun penguin, or the boxing glove guy, or this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, leather.
I like that guy.
Penguin, right? And so we would show these to him, and he would get a chuckle and appreciate them, but they weren't hitting the mark, so he wouldn't really respond. And I didn't speak Tim's language as well as like Jacques Ray did. So I kept trudging through with, working with Bo until finally we added more kind of like, sort of the S&M gear, which led to this sketch. And that's when it started happening. So the little helmet that you see on top of the penguin, right? Like, okay, so this is a picture of the actual guy that's sitting next to me. So the little antenna, so some of that concept stuck with the end concept. And so between Rick Heinrichs, who is a great production designer now and was Tim Burton's kind of right hand, obviously Nightmare Before Christmas and all that. Between him putting his 2 cents into it, Chris Ross, who built the maquette of this whole thing, a bunch of drawings from me and Bo Welsh, we ended up with this design. And that was the journey from Joel Peter Wicken and me just being completely panicked to then finally, getting to it. And Catwoman had a big influence on it, just in regards to Circus Freak / a little bit of S&M / whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what was funny is we built these to go on real penguins as well. I don't know if you guys had heard those stories.
Yeah, we heard that it's a good mix of real penguins with puppets.
Yeah. So these guys, there were penguin wranglers that basically were, they'd come in and try and put this gear on these penguins, and they, it turns out penguins aren't really fans of having S&M gear put on them. And they're, they eat fish, so their bills are serrated. So they would, like, when they bite you, they kind of poke in and grab flesh, twist it, and pull it off. So these guys were getting beat up by these live penguins. So they figured it out and were able to work their way around it between gloves and holding their bills. But yeah, so this was Stan Winston's The Emperor penguins that we did, and these were all puppeteered. And then, like, this is a shot of the actual live penguins going down the main street on stage 16, which was hysterical, watching them waddle together as a group with these rocket packs, kind of going back and forth. It was absolutely hysterical on the set. There's this guy Reza who, I guess off my website, he interpreted my designs into these stylized characters, and it's some of my favorite things I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
So those are, I know, I love his interpretation of the designs.
It's like it could be in Rocky and Bullwinkle or something. This style, of cartoon.
Yeah, have you guys seen these before? They're hysterical.
I think I've seen something like this, and I just thought, if they ever bring these penguins into Teen Titans Go, that's how they're gonna look. Like it has a great cartoonish look to it.
Yeah,
really, really good.
Be great toys too.
These would make great toys, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've got they do have some little rocket pack penguins. I've got one, they're like this big, and they're cast as metal, and they're
I think I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, I've got one sitting next to this guy. This was I'll stop sharing. This was an original sketch for the opening of the movie where he's a baby, and this was his play crib, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some other props. This was the original bomb that they set underneath his the Batmobile to blow up the Batmobile. So
this is all exclusive, I think, because I don't think I've ever seen any of these.
Yeah, these are I have these originals. So I just photographed the original artwork from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that's probably why you don't. There's the
that's a better render there, huh?
Off the Batarang, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That gives it justice.
So these are so like a lot of these, like I have some of the originals from these drawings. We just managed to hold on to them over the years, and then that's the wrong movie. All right, we'll move on. Let me stop sharing.
We'll go into that in a bit. But yeah, we're wrapping up returns right now. We got some of Jock's stuff for the Batboat, the Bat Ski Boat. Kind of
Super
cool, manta ray type of look to this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All pencil work. Oh yeah, I love that interior he did. So cool. The book, the photographs of his renders for in this book don't do the renders justice. Oh yeah, and you can see how different. Like, so on the right side of that page were my marker sketches. This was literally the first week I was on the film, And
Ah.
Bo said, "Hey, he's got this bat ski boat that goes through the sewers. Just do some ideas." And you can see how far off the mark I was. Like, I didn't have a feel for the film, and I was doing like Fantastic Voyage or something, you know.
Okay.
But they were enough to start the process, right? And they you know, Tim and Bo didn't look at me and go, "What's the matter with you? You crazy?" They went, "Oh, that's cool," you know, and they eased me into the look of the movie.
Ah, that's
That's
good.
cool.
That's awesome. This is the one that was very mysterious to us because it had this whole thing about like Robin sits here. I'm like, Robin sits here? But who
I don't
knows?
know whose that is. Is there? I don't remember this drawing.
I'll have to dig it up just to see if there's a credit to that one. But I'll let you know after we take the break after going over the Batman Returns stuff. Let's see a little bit more of the Penguin Lairs.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then this one, of course, with
Mm.
the big roller coaster. This is the one I showed to Daniel Waters just to be like, hey, they almost did it with the roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. All I can say to this was that, and you can see how rough this was. I mean, basically, this isn't even a painting; it's just a sketch in gouache, because Bo wanted to do some early exploration of, you know, the exterior of his lair. This was before you'd seen like Marty's and Tom's final renderings of what it ended up becoming of a derelict carnival / theme park. And so this was kind of my first rough pass sketch at what that might be. You know, and the sphere on the right side was what was going to be his lair.
Gotcha.
And so yeah,
That's
so
cool.
that's why, you know, but even really super rough sketches like this find their purchase eventually because it's all part of the process, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
See some more of the Arctic
Oh
world.
yeah, the final
Penguin
one.
getting
Yeah,
his poor ducky destroyed by the bat ski
Yep.
boat.
That's
Some more
crazy.
of this.
Burton
that was
Burton
my-
loved the ducky, huh?
Yeah.
he loved it. He loved the ridiculousness of it. You know, just as he did the Rocket Pack penguins. I mean, they're ridiculous. That painting of him in the Hall of Records, looking through the window, that Tom Lay painting is my favorite painting of all time. I remember watching him paint that, and I was like, man, can you put a mood to something, you know? And this is not the guy that you would picture getting the Gotham look. I mean, this is like a dude that was, you know, 5'4" with a really bad mustache, white hair, with a southern drawl, and he just would nail it, painting after painting after painting. It was fun working with him.
Let me paint you a Gotham right quick.
That's what he sounded like. Well,
here's your ambiance.
Bo Welsh would imitate him all the time. He's like, well,
you know what state he was from?
I think he was from Arkansas or something like that.
Okay.
And he was always trying to get a date. He's like, you know, I'd like to have some companionship sometime, and I'm not shy. I asked the girls out, but you know, I ain't having any luck yet.
Oh man, just show him your paintings.
Amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But he'd be too afraid someone was going to catch on to his technique.
Oh, he's so cagey about it. Yeah,
he was a character, Tom.
Yeah,
Lay, man. He was.
Sounds like it. Then we have some more that we found out later from an exhibit. Let's see more Red Triangle Circus stuff.
Yeah. Marty's sketch of the Batcave. Yeah. That was awesome. God, where did you find that?
So this was sent to us from a fan in the UK, where there used to be an exhibit. I can look this up afterwards just to find the specific name of it. But
I see on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of see Marty's name cut off a little bit from this photo. But yeah, I just had a bunch of concept art that I was just like, I didn't see that before. So that's Paul Wares online sent that to us. So some great stuff.
Yeah, and that's like full on Bo Welsh, where, you know, the ridiculousness of that Batcave and those skinny little walkways of like, how in the hell is he going to get across there, and on and on. And yeah, and Marty would just, yeah. These interiors of the Batski boat were just so cool.
Yeah.
Jacques was just, look at that.
Another,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I would look at what exactly the big part of the Batmobile actually does. So that's
So
cool.
amazing.
More
Wow.
of the sled actually in color this time. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
So good to see these.
More of the Batski boat.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God, I remember, I forgot all about this.
you gotta tell me what
Remember.
this is, because it's like he has a parachute.
Yeah, so it was just literally, hey, we got to come up with extra braking system, and let's do a parachute that comes out the back, and put the bat symbol on it. And that's all I remember from this. But I totally forgot about this sketch. I can't. That's crazy. Is this in this exhibit as well?
It looks like it. Yeah, this particular section is a bunch of the photos that were sent to me by this fan.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it's an exhibit that's still up. I'll get the specific name to you so that you might learn a little bit more about it. But it's not one that I've had access to.
Wow.
But yeah, this is once I saw your name on this, I'm like, wait a minute, I got to ask about this parachute thing.
Totally forgot. Well, that's all I can tell you. I mean, I totally forgot about this completely, and I don't remember the full concept of why it required doing a rendering of it. I wish I remembered. I can't remember.
They could have just been brainstorming that type of stuff. Yeah.
Had to brake before hitting somebody. I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
definitely wasn't in the movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Maybe they were thinking about it before he hits. He's able to take control back and hit the brake before hitting the old woman.
Yeah.
So maybe that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see another look at that. Yeah. Another look at the interior of Wayne Manor. More stuff here. This looks very much, like Marty's stuff, as you said.
That's all Marty. Yeah. God, did we draw a lot? Didn't we? We put a lot.
That's awesome.
A lot of
artwork paid off.
Ooh. Oh, the Shrek. Yeah. This was fun doing a lot of the Shrek stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Felix the Cat was a big influence on this. And this is something that Tim was heavily invested in regards to, the aesthetic of how this looked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was prominent in the movie, obviously.
Totally.
So.
Yeah. And
I forgot about that sketch too. I wish I had that original.
As you said, like it's story and design, right? Because you need this cat in order for Selena to have the inspiration, as well as her own cats, to don the Catwoman suit almost like in a mocking way to her boss as she's planning her revenge on him. So it all comes together. Another look at the Gotham that we saw earlier. You can kind of see the reflection of a Jack Nicholson statue on this at this exhibit.
That's cool.
More Gotham stuff here. And then another one from Marty on this, and some more rubber ducky.
Yep.
More umbrella stuff as well. There's just a ton at this exhibit. I'm just like, why am I not there? That's what I thought.
Yeah, these are all my umbrella sketches. Like I did a bazillion ideas for this, just for one quick shot of him taking her across the skyline.
Oh yeah.
See some more Cobblepot Manor right over here on the left. So that's awesome. Let's see. The cemetery scene as well. That type of look. Cobblepot for mayor.
This is the kind of stuff that Jacques would do, along with everything else that like Tim would they were just firing on all cylinders off of each other, and they had so much fun just doing the whole mayoral campaign part of the movie because it was so absurd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Jacques' feel to this sort of Marxist, graphic and all that stuff. I mean, Tim just loved the stuff. So it was fun to share the office and listen to them, going through all this artwork and like campaign posters and all that stuff together.
It's
funny. You got a guy that like is capable of this, and capable of doing amazing hardware and the interior of the bat ski boat and all that. Like the guy just he could do anything. You know, a lot of concept
Oh,
artists
yeah.
are just really good at certain things, and Jacques he could do it all.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. Yeah. Little penguin getting tossed into the river.
Very sad.
Yes.
Very sad. Don't throw your kids into a wintry river
Or they'll come
Mhm.
back and try to kill all the firstborn kids
with
of Gotham
flippers.
City. Yeah.
Oh, right. There was that bottom painting.
Bottom one, yeah.
Yep, I remember that one. So same thing, just sort of like, okay, let's hone in more on the lair.
Oh, that's good.
These are just really rough, like half day, little sketches. That must
Mm.
be.
But they're great
I don't
glimpses
recognize
for
them.
us, in terms of seeing all the stuff that was developed, the evolution of it getting into what we ended up seeing on screen.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into. I mean, just like on any Marvel movie I work on, whatever it is that makes it to the screen that I've done, sometimes there'll be 80 versions before we get there.
Oh, wow.
100 versions.
Right,
You just,
right.
Some more of the penguin lair here, penguin himself as well. Some more of the another look at the
Yeah.
campaign headquarters.
More Tom Lay paintings. Hmm.
Spotlight on penguin. More of the bat ski boat.
Yep.
And these were interesting to me. I feel like the answers, Occam's razor, you go for the simplest explanation, but some of the concept art here have a blue and gray Batman, as well as there's your Gotham as well on the right. As well as we have a purple suited Catwoman after this blue Batman, but I'm going to guess that's less of a concept for the actual costume and more of just like it's just put her in there, kind of just like how she looks like in a lot of the classic comics.
This I can explain to you. Yeah, so these are Tom Lay paintings again.
Mhm.
And Tom, he's completely unfamiliar with the characters. It's just only what he would know from maybe, the TV show. So he was just throwing the characters in there for scale. They have nothing to do with the costume design. And it was just his naive knowledge of what the characters were that he just painted them in that way. So that's why you saw the colorful Batman and why you see it this way too. Nothing to do with the costume design, that's just like Tom throwing them in there for scale and not knowing really what they actually would look like.
I feel like costume design wasn't even finalized when he was doing this as well, right?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No,
right.
at some point they were, even while we were still in the art department, but not at that point. He's doing that stuff.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, so Ann Peanut has joined us for the finale of this, and we have basically gone over all the concept art that we have of Batman Returns with Tim, but we are going to bring him back for talking about Batman Forever. But before we do that episode, any closing thoughts about your time on Batman Returns?
Yeah, this has been great, guys. I enjoyed this as much as I thought I would, and I'm looking forward to talking about Batman Forever and the Batmobile next week with you. There's some great stories there, and it was really fun to look at all this artwork and see stuff that I completely forgot about, and again listen to your commentary and the stuff, along with like being able to share some of my experience from the day, bringing that forward, and also just reliving those days. So I thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome work, man.
Thanks. Good talking with you.
Yep. And with that, that is superhero stuff you should know. Big thanks to Dan for gathering or regathering all the concept art for this and showing it to Tim. So that was awesome. And then over to the fan comments, we have a few from Kendarius Dupree Art pointing out one of the concept art from Titans. That one is literally a toy. It's from the Batman Unlink series. I still own it. LOL. We're wondering if you meant the Batman Unlimited series.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like it matches the Capture Claw Batmobile, though there are a few differences. As you can see here, we don't have the sort of gold awning thing that connects the two wings in the back, which I'm kind of glad they went away with on the
Spoiler.
concept art. Yeah, the spoiler. That's the proper term on that. Yeah, the spoiler in the back. That's what I
Yeah.
know about cars.
Dude,
So yes.
I don't know much myself, but
yeah, the spoiler.
I remember people talking about spoilers in high school.
Yeah,
So, yeah, whatever.
I don't need to see that on a Batmobile.
I don't need it. But you know what?
doesn't
I
work with
like
it.
this toy, though, other than
Toy
the
is cool.
spoiler.
Yeah,
Like, it's the right kind of simple design. I think this is, I would have bought this.
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We got another comment on the we call it the Clown Gang episode, but it's the Batman Returns actors reenacting the deleted scenes episode. Cybertroop Studios says, "I'm going to guess Ben knows the scene in question, even with the inserted screen grab later on in this video. But to back up what Greg Cummins said at the 1938 mark, the acrobat thug, as well as the knife thrower dame, snake woman, and sword swallower, all are seen, albeit briefly, coming out of apartments with Gotham's wealthy firstborn sons in their hands as the circus train pulls up in the scene right before the climax. The three of them are shown placing the babies into the train's cages, just as the silhouette of Batman appears and proceeds to apprehend the organ grinder by grabbing him from above. The acrobat thug's appearance can be viewed at the 110 mark in this video that Cybertroop linked. Yes, thank you for that. I also had Dan find that, get us the screen grab, and Andrew edited that into the part of the episode. So thanks for that. Great video. Once again, such amazing insight here with all three actors. Branscombe Richmond said it best in that the Red Triangle gang makes up a lot of the runtime in Batman Returns with their everlasting presence. They may not have many lines, but they're always doing something, and their actions keep the story moving along. I definitely think a lot of the non-acting listeners / viewers will get a unique perspective with this one, finding out what it is like for the non-star / day players on a huge movie like this. Also, to this day, I have to say, the Red Triangle gang remains the most memorable gang in any Batman film or any superhero flick, for that matter. Keep up the great work.
We got to send this to the guys,
Yeah,
Ben. This is a
we'll send this one over.
great
Yeah.
comment. This is
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Yeah. Will do. But yeah, thank you, Cybertroop Studios, for this one. We definitely, a lot of the purpose of that one was, of course, to do exactly what you said, to highlight the people who aren't the major stars. They're not on the marquee, they're not on the poster and stuff, but they contribute so much in the 30 seconds to a minute that they show up on screen, and it was great to be able to show that appreciation for them.
Mm-hmm.
Last one is from Gary Devlin. This is amazing. Love those two clowns, especially. I'm also not one for speeches, so I'll just say, NECA, you missed. These two need special action figures ASAP.
It's true,
So,
man.
yeah.
These would sell for sure. For sure. NECA or McFarlane or somebody get on it, man.
Yeah. We definitely love to have Branscombe, Henry, Greg have their own action figures for this stuff, for what they contributed to this movie. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, over to the shout outs.
Oh man, we're already here. Can't believe
Mhm.
it. All right. So we want to thank everybody up on the board here and some people that have joined us recently at the $1 tier. Might include Benjamin V, Chris F, MetaGeek, Chuck, ATWT, Chris R, and Chris M. And we have our other
Chris's love
supporters.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. And our other supporters as well are up on the board here. Thank you for that, everybody. You can get on the board at the $1 tier. That gets you that there shout out. And then the $5 tier gets you a whole new show. This show you're watching right now is every Monday for free on YouTube. But then we have a whole other show every Friday, every week at the Patreon tier behind the paywall. And $5, join it. You can even binge it and then cancel, unsubscribe, whatever you want to do. There it is. I'm sure we've had a lot of people do that already, but
Right.
we probably shouldn't say that too much, but we keep saying it anyway. Anyway, so yeah, it's $5, and then we have our $10 tier. That's our monthly meetup. That's a monthly live show. Call in with us and talk with us once a month. We have a topic at hand and something to react to. Sometimes depends on the month, but that's the $10 monthly meetup tier. And of course, just like how other Patreons work, if you're at the $10 tier, for example, you get the $1 and $5 tier benefits as well. If you're at the $5 tier, if you're at the $5 tier, you get the $1 tier benefit. So there that is. And also we have merch at superhousepod.redbubble.com, superherostuffpod.threadless.com, Ben Manzacula, Indeed Wizard, mug, shirt, shower curtains, and all the rest. Artwork by Stefan Santa Cruz. And you can send us some audio to superhousepodcast@gmail.com or just drop us a line in general. I'm Thunderwolf Drew on Instagram and Twitter. Thunderwolf lives on YouTube. ThunderwolfDrew.com has my whole portfolio except for AmanoRecon.com. That is AmanoRecon.com. This is an original idea. Right now, we're very close to finalizing our 4-minute pitch video that would be on the Indiegogo page. Indiegogo is like Kickstarter, but a little bit more geared towards short films and films in general. I think Mark Bernardin used Indiegogo, maybe Kickstarter. I can't remember. Anyway, because he had to fund his own thing. But yeah, so this is an R-rated, think X-Files and Stranger Things meets Power Rangers, basically. Lots of blood in it as well. And this poster here is by Zachary Jackson Brown. And yeah, it's coming soon. I know I've been talking about it forever. We crossed more of milestones recently, but more on that later. Ben?
Shout out to Comic Capital on Instagram, as well as the Everything Entertainment Club on Clubhouse. You can follow us on social media on Twitter at SuperhousePod, Instagram, Superhero Stuff Pod. What am I looking at? Oh yes, TikTok, Superhero Stuff Pod.
We're not on TikTok too much lately.
Vero, Superhero Stuff Pod. My website is benwanwriter.com. You can also check out my scripts there. Gotham Vampire, where little Bruce Wayne faces off against the Mad Monk, the Golden Age villain, as well as Elementary, the Death of Sherlock Holmes, a modern update on the adventure of the dying detective. And for a change of pace, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Disneyland, the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode they could never make, where Larry goes to Disneyland. You can also follow my YouTube channel. Link is in the description below. You can follow and find out Doctor Who, The Rodent of Time, an audio drama I write, edit, and narrate, in which the 8th Doctor meets Miyamoto Musashi in ancient Japan. You can also follow my Instagram at benwanwriter, as well as my son's Instagram, my cat, Alfie, at Alfie Pennyworth Cat. And if you have an Alfie yourself, as well as Peanut, who was very much featured earlier in this episode.
Cameo appearance.
Yes, his MCU cameo. You can basically get the Whisker Box, the only cat box for the crazy cat lady and gent. And if you don't have a cat, but you have a dog instead, that's cool too, because you can get the Bark Box, y'all. Give your dog exactly what they want with the Bark Box. First month off is free, valued at $35. And you can get that promo link from us at superherostuffpod.com/shop. You can get all sorts of stuff, including the Batman 80th anniversary book by Andrew Farago and Gina McIntyre that even, Tim Flattery seems to love as well. So you can get that from our shop. That can basically kick back some money over to us. That's an affiliate link, as well as enhance your collection and give you some ownership over copies of this concept art as well. And then lastly, Manscaped. It's a real ad, everybody. This promo code does work, and it is Johnson's Ballsack. It has been approved by Manscaped. You have to use it yourself if you have to believe it, but you can get 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code Johnson's Ballsack at manscaped.com.
I mean, if you want to test the veracity of this code, feel free to go to manscaped.com and put it right there in at checkout. So yeah, it's Johnson's Ballsack, all one word, no apostrophe or anything like that. Johnson's Ballsack, 20% off and free shipping. Make your platinum package, a platinum package with the platinum package 4.0. Shave down the bush into something presentable with the underoos, man. You know what I mean? Come on. You want to make your dick seem bigger, and if you're going to be showing it off, make sure it's looking good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the women out there, they're doing all kinds of work trying to make things look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you got to do your part, man.
You have to do your part in the war. You have to do your part. Contribute to your balls.
Yes.
To your sack.
I do wonder what our guests think when they get to this point of the episode. They're like, I don't remember this part.
It's like I skipped the Manscaped ad in the middle, and I got this one again. Thanks for the time codes there, Ben.
Yes.
Oh man.
Big thanks to Dan for those.
Thanks to Dan. Yes, thank you. And let's think of the Batman Returns one we could do. If you didn't see this episode,
You missed.